Hey everybody, it's Jay about Blue Jays Outdoors and welcome back to another exciting episode. Episode is actually going to be about tips and tricks, or another new tip and trick. So the visor on the Nitro, you guys have seen this before, the visor is actually cracked. You can see it right there where that crack's kind of propagating there, and then I've got one right there as well. And these front windshields are not cheap. I think last time I checked they're over $100, might even be more than that. But what I want to show you guys is a tip and trick that I've used in the past. It's actually an old machinist trick that I learned when I was a machinist. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a really tiny drill bit. Okay, it's a 1/16 drill bit. We're going to take some epoxy. I like to use Gorilla Glue 2-part epoxy. And you need a paper plate and two 2x4s. That's it. So let me show you guys how I'm going to do this. And like I said, this is an old trick I learned back in a machine shop. Used it to save a lot of parts before where they were cracking. I've actually used this to fix some bowls and stuff like that, but I want to show you guys this tip and trick because if there's anything that you have that you own, even tackle box lids, plastic tackle box lids, I'm looking at one behind the camera right there, if those start to crack or they get a crack in them, you can actually use this same tip and trick to save that from keep cracking. So yeah, check this stuff out and hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, so I'm going to do the best job I can in showing you guys how I'm going to stop this crack. So you can see right here, I've actually got the crack right in the light so you guys can see this. And I'm going to try to do this without bumping the camera. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this really tiny drill bit and I'm going to drill a hole right where that crack is stopping. So if that crack hits that hole, it can't go anywhere. So let's give this a try. It's lined up. Not that you only have one shot at this, but you like to get it lined up as best as possible. There we go. Now you can see that crack leads right into that hole. So now that crack will not propagate anymore through this piece of plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do the other side, but let me just get that done, and then we're going to mix the epoxy and get this thing glued up. For my next magical trick, we are going to mix this Gorilla Glue 2-part epoxy, sets in 5 minutes. So once you cut the top off, make sure that you've got even levels here in the nozzles. And it's not going to take too much. So what you do is you just squeeze some of this out, make sure you get equal parts. Seems like the hardener, the yellow one, always wants to run a little slower. So just try to do your best in getting 2 equal parts. So it doesn't take much. There we go, that should be good. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is just mix this up. And then I'm going to pull that back, put the cap on. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to apply it to both sides. So just mix this up. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we'll just take it and we will apply it down the crack. So I'll smooth out a little bit, do the other side, and I will catch you guys in a second. Alright, so you can see it didn't take much. I've got it pretty well thinned out on this side and then this side as well. So it's really, really important that you let this dry thoroughly because this surface actually right here bolts to the main visor on the Nitro or your boat, because if you're doing this to another boat it probably is the same way, but there's a seal that gets created right here, so the 4 screws actually connect this to the actual visor. So you better make sure this is good and dry. So this will probably take, oh, I don't know, an hour or 2 to set. It says it sets within 5 minutes, but I want to make sure it's good and dry. So let's wait for it to dry now. Alright, so it's been about 2 weeks since I drilled this hole, and I wanted to wait to wrap this video up to show you guys just how well this actually works. So you can see I drilled that hole. That crack has not propagated. This visor right here is doing really good. You can see the other one over here as well. Again, I drilled a hole right there, and that crack has not propagated either. So hopefully you guys learned something that you can actually use in your own application, whether it's on your boat, in the home. So again, to stop cracks like that from propagating, just drill a hole, really small hole. In this case, I was able to epoxy it. So hopefully you guys found this stuff helpful. And remember, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do hit the notification bell so you know anytime I post a new video. If you guys would please too hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment. That really helps the algorithm. So again, I really do appreciate your time. Thanks for watching this video. And remember, the easiest way to change your attitude is by showing gratitude. Thanks, and we'll catch you on the water next time.